Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Hey, here we go. It is a Tuesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. That means we are in the heart of Mandarin. You know it by now. Hurricane Grill and Wings. If they've got wings in the name, Trenton Torsia joining me, Terry Norvelle. Trent, you got wings in the name, you better be good at what you do. They got 32-plus flavors. How many 32 flavors have you had over the years? 40? You've had 40 probably.
40. At least half of them. I like the hotter stuff.
I know, man. I don't like those people that like this. You like to eat and sweat.
A little bit, yeah. Or at least your nose starts running or whatever. That's good
that
stuff.
Is crazy. But we're here from 4 to 6, our Tuesday home. Glad you're with us here. We got a lot to cover. Hopefully Patrick Young will join us as we go today. Huge Gators basketball news to get to. We'll cover college baseball. JU has already won. UNF has lost in the ASUN tournament. Florida plays about 5:30. Georgia is off until Wednesday. Yeah, I think they play tomorrow. Georgia will play the winner in the SEC tournament of Oklahoma, Kentucky, which is going on right now. Yep. And we'll get a score on that. So a lot of baseball. It's a baseball playoff, fun time of year. You and I love it. Softball, super regionals, they're a little bit ahead. You know me. This time of year, you and I talk college softball at this point is a blast.
It's fantastic.
Really is.
You know, the funny thing, talking about college softball real quick, when's the last time Oklahoma was not ranked number one?
I know. 4-time defending champ, by the way. They're in the Super Regional.
They're ranked two.
They've got Alabama, right, in Super Regional. So they've got a chance to win their 5th. How about Texas A&M in both softball and baseball? Texas A&M was number 1 in softball. Overall, Liberty knocked them out. Yep. In the regional, and Texas A&M baseball was number 1 preseason and has blanked the bed. Bad.
That's a pretty big free fall.
Whew.
I mean, if you think about it, and it's
Very
like,
big.
okay, I understand they lost their big bopper, the third baseman. I can't remember his name. So he was out like
Grahovic and Lavallee, the big boppers.
The first weekend.
Yeah, and Jace Lavallee they're talking about 1 of 1 next year. So they lost 2 big guys, but they're way too much. There's too much talent to be where they're at right now. Injuries or not.
Well, and then to really cap off kind of a miserable season, they get swept by Missouri. Who had not won an SEC game.
A conference game. Missouri was staring at 0-30, and they go and sweep A&M. And A&M's playing. They play Mississippi State tonight. They're 1 loss from packing up the uniforms. I mean, they're done. They're not winning 6 games in 6 days to win it all. So we've got a lot of baseball, NBA finals, conference finals. Tonight they get started. We'll get to that. We've got a lot of stuff to get to. But Trenton Torsia, humongous, and I mean this, I think huge Gator basketball news came down a couple hours ago. Boogie Fland, a 5-star high school recruit. Everybody in the world wanted him last year coming out of high school. Coach Calipari at Arkansas lands him. He goes to Arkansas. He is a 6'3", swing guard, athletic, doesn't mind playing defense. Got hurt, ironically, early January in the game Arkansas versus Florida in Gainesville. In Arkansas. He gets hurt. His hand misses the bulk of the season. So he misses a chunk of the season, comes back in the tournament, March Madness, and helps Arkansas go 3 rounds deep. And Arkansas should have beaten Texas A&M. This guy is a big-time player, considered a top 5-ish portal guy. He committed and signed with Florida today. Gator basketball. My God.
Oh,
my God.
What's going on in Gainesville right now?
My God. Todd Golden is just
He is golden, actually.
He is golden. So Florida, with regard to the portal, they signed already what's considered the number 1 true point guard in the portal from Princeton, Xavier Lee. So they bring him in. They think he's just a takeover, run your offense, the number 1 portal guy in the country. They add Boogie Fland. 3 of their 4 front court And Florida probably had the best front court in the country by the time the season was over. 3 of the 4 are already coming back. Alex Condon will announce in about a week. I have a feeling he's coming back. He's kind of falling in that 31 to 35 range, which is early second round. I think if that's the case, if that's his report, he's going to come back to Florida. So Florida,
because you could move up probably 10 spots,
you
right,
think,
in a year.
You would think he went to the combine, the NBA combine. He's getting all of his reports. They tell you kind of, well, here's where we think you will go if you stay in the draft. Maybe, and they tell people honestly, we don't think you're going to get drafted. We think you're a low second round, mid second round, high second round, first round. You're a top 10 guy, right? So they give you a report, and they also say, we, after evaluating you, this is the NBA, and they do this as a service.
Mm-hmm.
They say, hey, we think you need to work on your mid-range jumper. We think your ball handling on your left hand's a little. They tell you what they think is.
Or you got to post up if you're that size
or
whatever.
You got to get a go to your left post move.
Yeah.
All you do is go to your right. That's going to get eaten up. I think Condon's coming back. So this really, what I'm going to say really doesn't matter, but I think it does to a non-blue blood program. And Florida, I know they got 3 titles. And that third title now, I used to have the list. It's UCLA with 11, Kentucky with 8. It's UConn, North Carolina with 6, Duke with 5, and Florida is now in that area. They've got 3. That's tall cotton. Not a lot of programs. Florida has more national titles than Louisville and Michigan State, but they're still looked at as football first, basketball second. Now, what I'm going to say doesn't matter, but for a program like Florida, I think it has a little panache. If Alex Condon, within the next 2 weeks, he's got to make a decision by the 28th of May, I think it is. If Alex Condon says, I'm coming back to Florida, the Gators bring all 4 front court. Thomas Houghton, 6'9", Micah Hanlogden, 7'1", Ruben Chinyelu, who just yesterday said he's coming back, 6'11", 7 foot. Alex Condon, 6'11". That is, hands down, the best front court in America coming back. With the back court they've got from the portal, I don't see it happening, but I don't see how it shouldn't happen, that Florida would not be the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
Now, if Duke brought that back, if Kentucky brought that back, if North Carolina brought that back, immediately number 1 team in the nation. Florida won't get voted if Condon comes back, I think, because they'll be a little biased. They're just not a basketball blue blood. But why would you not vote Florida number 1 in the country if Condon comes back?
We have no reason not to because of
defending national.
What have they done, right?
The coach is back.
They won the national championship. Coach is back.
Coach.
Your core group's coming back.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yeah.
Right, with the addition. And I don't know. I mean, you and I have talked about this for years. These preseason polls, who cares? It's the way too early poll that comes out. But you know what's astonishing in college basketball? There's 4,500 players in the portal.
How about that?
What is the deal?
And there's 330 Division I basketball programs, so that's why there's so many.
But there's players transferring now that are getting a ton of playing time. It's not like I'm just going to leave because I'm not getting on the court. And that's not the case anymore. So I don't know if it's money. I got to think it probably is to a certain extent. Some NIL stuff. And then what do you, I got my agent. I got my guy. He's going to do this for me and that for me. And this school's going to offer me a better opportunity.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Getting back to my earlier point, though, if Condon comes back, if everybody that votes on preseason basketball polls is given truth serum, I think Florida should be voted number 1 preseason going in. Now,
I don't disagree with that.
Does it matter to Duke, Carolina, Kentucky? No, they've been number 1 for a long time. I think it matters to Florida. I think that's another good notch that makes Florida and pushes Florida in front of those basketball kids that are in the 10th, 11th, 12th. I think it helps.
100%.
I think it's pretty good. By the way, before we get any further, I think we've got this right. Trinity Christian Baseball won earlier today, their semifinal. I'm showing 1-0 over Berkeley Prep. From what I'm showing, Trinity Christian has won today, and they have won their way into the state championship game tomorrow. I'm showing the 21st, which is tomorrow. I'm showing 7 p.m. I've seen conflicting times, but they're definitely playing tomorrow, as I understand it. Have you heard Trinity's won?
Yes.
I understand they have won today. So they've moved to the state championship game. And if my notes are right from last week, Trinity Christian will play the winner of, and I think this game is currently going on, St. Andrews. That's a Boca school. First Academy is an Orlando school. I don't know anything about them. I don't know if you do either, Trent. What do you know about Trinity? Have you seen Trinity this year?
I have seen Trinity.
Talk about the Conquerors in baseball.
And I've seen their dude who pitched.
Did he go today?
Yeah.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Watson. I mean, he's legit. I saw him live. He's polished. He's, when you watch pitchers, and I know this might get a little bit boring, but for baseball guys, it's not.
No.
He's loose and free.
Yep.
So he's long levered.
Yep.
And it just comes out.
And he's not.
And it's
when you say loose and free, for people that don't know baseball, there are some guys that heat it up pretty good. They've got a fastball, but every wind, every pitch is
max effort.
Max effort.
That's what we call it.
And you worry about those guys.
Those are the ones that break.
80 and 90 and 100 pitches every time out. The good ones, the Paul Skeens and guys like this that are free and easy. The ball, they just look smooth. They're not like a tennis player grunting every serve.
Right.
And you just feel more comfortable with those guys.
No, he's a big body. He's athletic.
Will
he's
he
got
make
3
it to
pitches
college?
for strikes.
Is he
will
the Major League Draft eat him up?
He could be a mid to late round first.
And I think he's
rounder.
like a Virginia guy, or he's going somewhere big.
Yeah.
And you sign for leverage. If you
of course you do.
If you want to get drafted, if you want to start your pro career, you still sign with a college. So when you're drafted by the Red Sox and they're in your living room, we were thinking $2.5 million signing, but we got a $75,000 4-year scholarship waiting on us.
Not only that,
yeah. And NIL.
I got a $500,000 NIL deal.
Yeah.
Look, I'm staring at.
So this is a guy that the phone will be ringing day one of the draft.
I think
he'll have
so.
to make a decision.
I think so.
He'll have to make a decision. So
and those decisions have become a lot easier.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. I played with Will Clark in college. He was a number 2 player drafted in 1985.
Okay.
Behind B.J. Surhoff.
Wow.
His signing bonus, $425,000. You're like, well, that's a lot of money. If you're the number 2 player drafted now, it's like $12 million.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And a lot of that's slotted, man. There's not a whole lot of.
They slot it.
You go, hey man,
there's no negotiation here.
That. Yep. I'm getting at least that because that was last year.
Yeah, and then
B.J. Surhoff, I remember that guy. Good, nice career.
He was a good catcher.
He came out of North Carolina.
Yeah. Sure did.
Nice catcher.
So you have that.
Palmero guy was pretty good.
Was,
when you saw him on the practice field at Mississippi State, did he and some guy named Will Clark, did they kind of stand out a little bit, or did you go, who are the rooks over there?
We did. I was a pitcher, so I had to shag batting practice. And do
I
all
hope
that
you
stuff.
had an L screen in front of you when you pitched BP to
I threw at those
Clark
guys.
and Palmero.
I threw at them just to let them know.
Nice.
But we would stand on the warning track
to
try to rob home runs.
Yeah.
The problem is their home runs were over the scoreboard.
They didn't scrape the wall going over. They didn't sneak out with a bruise on the baseball.
No, you're not robbing one of those things.
So good luck to Trinity. I think they'll play tomorrow. They will play tomorrow. So I'm showing noon and 7 p.m. I'm not positive on the time, but they're playing tomorrow. Good luck to Trinity, the Conquerors. I guess that's our final shot, right?
That's it. So incidentally, you asked me 3 or 4 weeks ago if I had to pick one local high school to win a state championship.
It would be
Trinity Christian.
Bunch of dudes, huh? Bunch of dudes.
There's 7 or 8 D1
and Jonathan
guys.
Murphy is over there, right?
Yes.
Daniel Murphy's brother, Jonathan.
Does a heck of a job.
Been over there
Storm
a while.
Davis is there too.
And Storm is there. Yeah.
Local legend.
Yeah.
What did he play? Like 19 years at a big league or something?
Storm. I used to know his numbers. Storm,
He played at University Christian.
UC, yeah, went to the Bigs. He went to the Orioles. Like his third year in pro ball, he made it up and won a World Series game with the Orioles.
Yeah.
And the Orioles won the World Series. Storm Davis, and this is a little unfair, but when he got drafted out of high school here in Jacksonville by the Orioles, he was earmarked, and he did a pretty good job. And this is a mouthful I'm about to say. The Orioles drafted him, he big right-hander, big 6'4", broad shoulder, hard-throwing right-hander was Storm Davis. He was kind of, they said, this is our next Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer was winding his career down.
That's kind of unfair, isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
but Storm won 100 big league games.
Yeah.
He was 100 and something, a couple World Series. Later in his career, Storm was winding down with the Oakland A's. And he lost and then won a World Series. He played with McGuire and Canseco. The first year when Eckersley gave up the Gibson home run, he was on that team. And then they came back and won it the next year. I mean, Storm got a couple World. You don't stumble into 100 big league wins. That you just don't stumble.
No, you earn every one of those.
Yeah. Storm Davis had right at 100 big league wins, multiple Super Bowl rings. I mean, World Series rings.
Yeah.
Wow. But yes.
He's there overlooking the situation.
He was the head coach at Trinity for a while. He's there now overlooking it, you said?
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah. Pretty good overlooker.
He hangs out, right? And
hey, I think you should.
He's a good guy to talk to, by the way. I mean,
man,
really
imagine being a 15-year-old pitcher, and he's going, hey, how do you grip the ball? Hey, do you put on a pressure with try this?
He's the kind of guy that I didn't have his career, obviously, but he's the kind of guy where you go, the old man.
Yeah.
The old man doesn't know anything. Yeah. Google me.
Yeah. Well, I've told
all he has to say is Google me.
I've told the story to you. When I was at JU, he came through, a local guy, on his way to spring training in February. He came through at least 2 years in a row, and obviously, I'm sure he called Coach Bradley and Coach Alexander, and he came out and threw. He would already be on the field at 2:00 when we showed up to practice at JU. This is January. You know, you practice in January, season start. Well, they're heading down to spring training in February,
right?
You know, so he showed up 2 years in a row for a whole week, basically 2 years in a row, and he cleared it with our coaches. I'm sure he wanted to throw a little bit, and he would throw BP, and it was interesting. It was interesting, and you know, at the time I was at JU, you know, we played guys that made it to the big league.
Right.
They were 21 getting to the big leagues. I'll never forget when he threw BP a couple of times. I'd get engaged with him. He's trying to work up a sweat, and he'd throw some BP. And then he would kind of say, all right, I'm going to heat it up a little bit. And he would get up, you know, in the 90 percentile. And two things struck me. He would throw a slider that I'm like,
can't see.
Am I supposed to hit that?
Yeah.
That thing's good. So, and then when you hit it, man, the ball felt heavy. That makes sense. You know, baseball.
100%.
You would hit with aluminum.
Yeah.
We were swinging aluminum.
Yeah.
And he's a major league. But when you hit in BP, like you're hitting a cannonball. Like, what the hell? Then you go, maybe I should have been paying attention to all those college classes earlier.
Yeah.
Because I ain't going to make a living doing this.
That's exactly right.
And he was a solid number 2. He wasn't, right? I mean, you're going to face that guy every day in the bigs.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate pitchers. Did I mention that? I hate pitchers.
That's okay.
Especially those little lefties.
I don't like hitters, those pesky little left-handed hitters, too, that slap.
Yeah.
I don't like those guys.
Always on base.
I don't like them.
Always on base.
And then they're on base clapping and doing their thing. And
going to steal in a minute. You forget about it.
You know what? If you're going to get on base, I'd just rather hit you.
See, that's why I don't like pitchers.
I just put one right in the ribs.
You hear that? Hear that? That's assault right there.
Well, Casey used to pitch too, so I imagine
that's premeditated.
He might have hit you too.
There's some way that is premeditated assault that is not out of the statute of limitations.
Ooh.
You know, somehow I'm going to first base somehow right now. Going to first base.
You know what? If you're going to get on, let me make it easy for you.
Yeah. You're the guy that would hit you when you lead off too. Right in the ribs as you're diving back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bastard. Filthy. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's We don't do it all the time. We don't get into Major League Baseball this early. Let's get into MLB. A lot of fun stuff going on this
Some
week.
interesting things going on,
A lot
too.
of stuff going on. It's been a fun Major League season, and we're cruising, man. What are we, about 5, maybe 6 weeks from it'll be All-Star break. I mean, we're going to be in June soon. All-Star break is
July.
Mid-July.
Yeah.
Man, baseball season never slows down. When they start, they go, man.
I watch a lot of baseball.
They go. There you have it. All right, one down, a long way to go. Thanks to everybody here. Our Tuesday host. We really love being at the Mandarin location of Hurricane Wing and Grill. You know where it's at, right at the base of the Jointon Creek Bridge. Come by, say hi. Today sometime. Wonderful family hangout. Baseball, sports, TVs everywhere, and just a fun, good atmosphere. Hurricane. Nailed.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Okay, let's dive back into some hardcore baseball talk. Trenton Torsia, you know him from the last several years here on our program. He's been a regular on the show. We talk all sports with Trent, but he leans baseball as well that time of year. Real quick, we hope to talk some basketball. It is camp season, and we hope to visit sometime around 5 o'clock with Coach Jim Martin, the coach over at Providence. Coaches owned and operated the Jacksonville Basketball Academy for a long time. It is a wonderful summer camp. If you got a basketball player in your family, boy or girl, grade school all the way through high school, different levels, a wonderful offering. You can take multiple camps. I got about 9 weeks in a row, starting on May 27th all the way through August 4th. Most of them are weekly camps. You may want to work on point guard play, big man play, but they'll start from the young kids, introduce them to the game. You'll learn ball handling, passing, understand the game and how to play, and teamwork. Coach Martin, one of the leading coaches, any sport, any level. I mean, he's been as high as the McDonald's All-Star game, the 5-star guys.
Yeah,
he's coached in that game. Grayson Allen, one of his players, has made the NBA. He's had 45-ish college players, a couple guys that have made the NBA. I mean, Grayson Allen came right under him at Providence, went to Duke, and he's still in the NBA.
Yeah.
So,
and he's a good player.
Yeah. Here's what you do. If you got a basketball player in your life that you want to get involved, maybe get them ready for the upcoming tryout, because school will be here before you know it. I know school's getting out, but school next year will be here. It'll be basketball season. If you're trying to get ready for a tryout for your young basketball player, or maybe you're already on the team, you want to pick up your game. You want to improve your game going into next season. Maybe that's your sophomore, junior, or high school senior season. Get to the best basketball camp in our area. Check them out. You can just bang in Google. We'll talk with Coach Martin a little bit later. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Boom, it'll pull you right up to all the information. Strider takes the hill for the Braves tonight. Off injured Strider.
Well,
they need him. They need him.
They need him badly. And, you know, the Phillies, first of all, the Phillies lost their closer.
I know. He got suspended.
80 games.
Yeah, so that's the same as an injury.
Even when he comes back,
Alvarado,
he can't pitch in the playoffs.
How about that?
So,
how about that?
But they've won 4 straight.
Yeah.
So it's like Phillies just did that fuel them? Because it happened about a week ago.
Phillies red hot with 4 in a row. And
Braves are 5 back.
Yeah.
So, considering their start, they're okay.
They're okay.
I mean, I don't mind where they're sitting right now.
I'm glad you went there. They've made a rush here, and they should have made a rush because the schedule has been favorable. They had Pittsburgh. They just wrapped up, the Braves did, with Washington. They went up to Boston, should have swept Boston. They're back now with Washington. So that's favorable, but it's going to end quick. Listen to this coming up before the All-Star break. Coming up for the Braves, after they finish a second series with Washington, and they're not real good at the Nationals, the Braves will have San Diego, Philadelphia, Boston back in Atlanta, Arizona, and San Francisco. That's rough. So the Braves, they've done a good thing picking on Pittsburgh, Washington, and Washington again.
But that's what you have to do.
Absolutely, you have to do that.
That's what I call that getting healthy.
Yes.
It's kind of like,
yes,
as you know, in baseball terms, facing a pitcher that's not that good.
Yeah.
Just get healthy.
Get healthy.
Like, don't
get healthy.
Don't try to do too much, but go 2 for 3 or
go
3
get your
for
2
4.
Hits. Go get your 2 hits.
Because you're going to face the guy.
Yes, you are. And
you might go 0 for 4.
Go leave the ballpark, get in your car, and feel good.
That's it.
Yep, feel good. Another thing about the Braves, I think you pointed this out a long time ago, and we filmed the show a bunch, talked a lot of baseball. The Braves are in that unenviable task since that 0-7 start. There have been a bunch of teams ahead of them. It's hard to jump multiple teams. Have you seen what's happened? The Mets are scuffling a little bit. The Mets aren't in first place now. The Phillies have jumped them, but the Braves, who've been winning, the Phillies have won 4 in a row, so the 5 is still there, games back. It's the only difference is they're 5 behind the Phillies, not the Mets. It's hard to jump multiple teams.
But they've jumped 2.
I know.
And that's huge.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And there's some things going on in the Mets world.
I know. What
it's
in the
just
world?
A little bit of
if you don't want it around your
program.
program.
Need it.
And talk about it. What
So you
Soto,
don't.
I mean,
you don't need it in the clubby.
This is this is what he brings, though, right? If you sign him, you're going to get a little Soto, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to get every bit of Soto is what you're going to get. Now,
good, bad, and indifferent.
Okay, so you can look at this. I'll frame it up if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So he hits one in Boston off the Green Monster, big tall wall. It's 2/3 of the way up the wall. Now he hammers it, and that's 280, right?
Yeah.
So it's out, but the problem is, is it high enough?
Yeah, sure.
And he kind of pimps it, right? So he's just he's looking at it, he's jogging out of the box, and he gets a single. Now, the argument is there's a lot of singles off the Green Monster. But if you're busting your tail, you could at least get a good turn around first base.
Yes. That's
the way you played.
Yes, that's where I was going to go. You bust it, you banana first base, and you take 4 or 5 steps and break down if you have to.
Yeah. And then you're back to first. And it's a single,
and
it's
okay. That was a long single.
Well, his manager.
He didn't do that, did he?
Mendoza. He got in his grill a little bit.
Yeah.
And said, no, we have to address this. Well, you know what Soto's response was? I was hustling.
Yeah.
You're not hustling. The video.
Yeah.
Right. What do they say? The tape doesn't lie?
Yeah.
The video doesn't lie, dude. You were not hustling. And you got called out by your manager.
Your entire team season hears this.
And
has he got different rules? Is he special?
He can't. And
yeah.
There becomes the problem. If he does have a special set of rules for himself, that team will that clubhouse will fall apart quickly. So eliminate them, which I think they're going to eliminate themselves because they do it year in and year out.
Probably. The Phillies are the team. The Braves going to.
Phillies are tough, man.
They're veteran. They're strong. They're old. They're mature.
Yeah.
They've been to the wars. Let me get back though. Speaking of the Braves, they had a little bit of that rear its head a couple weeks ago. And by the way, Strider goes tonight off the IL. Acuna is just about ready to come back. He's on an assignment at AAA. He's playing well. Acuna's about to come back. Remember, about 3 weeks ago with the Braves, they had a similar situation. The Braves had a guy that dogged it. I think the situation was a double, and he dogged it. Maybe got thrown out or wasn't hustling. It was ugly. And Acuna, still on the IR, this 2-3 weeks ago, he went to the reporters and talked to some of the, I guess they asked him, like 5 years earlier when Acuna was a 21-year-old, he hot dogged it, and the next inning got pulled out of the game by Snedeker, the current Braves manager.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to him and said, Acuna, modern time now, fast forward to 3 weeks ago, Acuna found a reporter and said, I wonder if my man's going to get yanked out. Why didn't he get yanked out of the game like I got embarrassed 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And Snedeker kind of danced
Good
around.
Point, man.
The manager
Good
for
point.
the Braves, the manager for the Braves kind of danced around it a little bit. Oh, everything's different.
That's not good
Yeah. No.
because Acuna's one of your leaders too, right?
Yeah.
Like he's your core group.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
You have to be so careful with this. And it's like, and you know, they always say this in sports, not one person is bigger than the team.
Yeah.
So
that $475 million contract bigger than the team.
No, $750.
Whatever, $750. Yeah. Over how many years or whatever? Yeah.
No, well, whatever it is, but
Yeah.
then you sit there and you go, but you're going to Cadillac it. Remember that term we always use?
Cadillac, yeah.
But you're going to Cadillac it. And by the way, I'm calling you out and I'm going to make it public. And then your response is going to be, I feel like I hustle every play.
Yeah.
Dude,
Come on.
didn't.
The tape doesn't lie.
It doesn't lie.
The tape does not lie. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And
the whole dynamics of it,
Yeah.
because this could
And,
impact.
The Mets lost 2 of 3. The Yankees took 2 of 3. And that
Yep.
was the big thing. He was going back to Yankee Stadium. They turned their back on him and blah, blah, blah. He really didn't have – he walked a bunch. So he didn't really trip on his own baseball bat in front of the Yankee fans.
Yeah.
But that was classic when they turned their back on him. Did you see that? When
Yeah.
he took the field, they turned
Well,
their
it's that's so Yankee fan.
Yeah.
And now, listen, I'm third generation Yankee fan. I get it and all that. When he comes in, he played there a year.
I know.
You're not
it
a
wasn't
Yankee.
like
You're not Aaron Judge. You're not Derek
Well said.
Jeter. You're
Yeah.
not Bernie
This
Williams.
isn't Mickey
You're
Mantle
not
or something.
Jorge
Joe DiMaggio.
Posada.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you're going to go, it's going to be 1 against 50,000.
Remember? Yeah, he
It's
said
like,
that.
dude, really?
He said that. Yeah. Hey, let me get some news out for people just tuning in. Big Gator basketball news. Boogie Fland, one of the easily top 5, top 10 portal players by way of Arkansas, 5-star high school kid last year, has signed with Florida. That is a big, big, big get for Gator basketball and Todd Golden. They have really, really restocked to a degree their roster, and they're going to be a real pain next year for a lot of teams in what will be a loaded SEC again. It will be loaded.
Yep.
But Boogie Fland signs with Florida. Big pickup for Gator basketball. College baseball conference tournaments. Earlier today, Miami, this surprised me. Miami started playing good baseball the last couple of weeks.
What?
Miami in the ACC baseball tournament, very early morning game, they were bombed. What was it, 12-2?
It was 12-2 at one point.
By
and
California.
Yeah.
California is 9-21 in the ACC. That's an ugly loss. JU in a 9 a.m. first pitch down in DeLand. JU beat North Alabama today, so the Dolphins win and move on. UNF had the game after JU down in DeLand. They lost to a really good Austin Peay program out of the A-Sun. So UNF loses their first game. Florida will be first pitching, in an hour if everything holds weather-wise. We think weather has been good, right, in Hoover?
Well, so
Never
far,
far, so good.
I think all the last 2 weeks, the weather's been horrible in the
I know,
Southeast.
it has been. Georgia, the Bulldogs in baseball have had a great year. They've been a top 10 team most of the year. They are off because of their high seeding. They play tomorrow. They'll play either Kentucky or Oklahoma. That game, we'll track that for you. Florida State in the ACC, they came up just short by percentage points, second place in the ACC. Georgia Tech won it, and it was weird. Remember, FSU did not win the regular season ACC baseball. They had a 3-game set canceled. Remember, they did not play Virginia because of the crazy shooting, the tragic shooting on campus.
Yep.
They could not make those games up anywhere. So Florida State loses winning the ACC by percentage points, and there's a little asterisk there. But the ACC plays pool play, not bracket play. It's the weirdest damn thing. Nobody knows. They put teams in Pool A, Pool B, and Pool C, and you kind of know who you're playing for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Unless you get a bye. FSU does not play until Friday. Friday.
Yeah. So they'll have their weekend guy.
It's the
if
weirdest.
they want to throw. If they want to throw
it's
him.
the damnedest, weirdest. Nobody knows how the ACC baseball tournament pool play works. Even the guy that invented it doesn't know. It's the weirdest damn thing, Trent.
No, when you ask 10 people and then you can't get an answer.
I've tried to figure it out for 15 years. I've used it, or 10 years I've used it.
No, and so we're at the time of the year also with these conference tournaments. Do you want to go deep into the tournament, or do you want to?
My heart's in Gainesville, and I'm a Gator fan. Knowing everything I know about Gator baseball, as hot as they've been, where they're at, if they need to win today, they need to beat a bad South Carolina team. Even though Florida, by the way, is Kevin O'Sullivan letting the cat out of the bag a little bit? He's starting today Billy Barlow, a midweek guy. That tells me that Kevin O'Sullivan, who you've got to believe is as connected as anybody in college baseball.
You would think. Yeah.
I would think that Kevin O'Sullivan has worked somebody on that committee to say, hey, committee,
where are we at?
Are we already going to host, or do we need a game or two? Florida is throwing Billy Barlow, a midweek guy, in the first game.
Well, we talked about this pre-show a little
Yeah.
bit, so it's like you can't throw your weekend guy on a Tuesday
Weird.
unless you do a little bit of bullpen.
Yeah.
Like, okay, 40 pitches, 50 pitches,
Yeah.
whatever the answer is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's so okay. So the last weekend of the season, they played Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So your Thursday guy, Peterson, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Ideally,
He
is
could
available
go.
Thursday.
Yeah. He could
But they
go.
don't do it. But that's the thing. They don't do it anymore. When you and I played,
Yeah.
I remember I was a Saturday starter and I threw on Wednesday 3 innings.
But if you think you need this game today, you probably at least run Peterson your ace and say, "Give me 3. Can you give me 3?"
That's
It's
what I'm
so
saying,
important.
a pitch limit or whatever.
It's so important.
Yeah.
But they're going to Barlow, and South Carolina's not real good. They're still an SEC team.
Yeah,
You
doesn't
can
matter.
beat somebody. When I heard Barlow was throwing today for Florida, their midweek guy, who, by the way, his last outing was miserable. Florida took 2 or 3 from Alabama. The second game, they start Coppola, the big lefty. They're stretching him out, and man, struck out the first 6 batters. He went 50 pitches. So Florida's got 3 arms now to start. The lefty has looked great. He missed the bulk of the season for like his 3rd year. 6'8" kid, 6'9".
Yeah.
You've seen him, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he goes, he's your second day starter. They've beaten Alabama game 1 last Thursday. Coppola goes, opens up, strikes out the first 6 batters. He gets to his pitch limit. He gives up a run because of a sun fly ball. Routine fly ball gets missed in the sun, would have been the 3rd out. Throws great. They bring Barlow in Saturday. He gets the final 2 outs because the guy hit his 50 pitches.
Yeah.
So he comes in, gets 2 outs, Barlow, bingo, bango, comes out the next inning. He doesn't throw 1 ball. He doesn't throw 2, 3, or 4 balls in a row. He doesn't throw 4, 5, or 6 balls in a row, 7, 8, or 9. He throws 12 consecutive balls, walks the bases loaded, and is pulled out. Alabama gets 1 hit, and they win the game later in the game. But that's the guy Florida's starting who just threw 12 consecutive balls. So that tells me O'Sullivan must be pretty confident. They could even lose. They've done enough. They don't want to lose today, but it's not a do or die game. Am I way off base there?
No, I think you're right on. And now the only thing, to your point, if Sully confirmed it, hey, yeah, you guys are good. You're probably going to host. And they probably are. I don't know that they have to do anymore. They've been one of the hottest teams in the country down the stretch. So when you look at that, 1 game's not going to dictate
You wouldn't think.
where we stand.
You wouldn't
Not
think.
in baseball when you play
You wouldn't
60,
think.
65 games. Versus football where you play your 12 or 13
And
games.
it
And that's the
matters.
way it is. Matters a ton.
Yeah.
So the coaches do know, because I'm going to
What
tell
do you think he's dialed in?
No, having played for
Yeah.
the legend Ron Polk, he would tell us, fellas, we need to win 2 tournament games
Yeah,
to host
definitely.
or not or whatever. And we hosted 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like,
They know. A guy like Polk would know.
yeah,
He
and
could get
Sully's
on that.
going to know.
He can get on that phone, right?
He's got enough.
And say, "Hey, Joe, if you
What do you say?
if you-
Cachet. He's got
Yeah.
enough cachet.
hey
to
Joe,
say
if you hang up in the next 5 seconds, we're hosting, right?
Yeah.
If you
Click.
blink, we're hosting, right? We've done enough.
Well, we talked about this too before the show. Florida's ranked. They're ranked in the top 20 now.
Yeah.
Some polls have them
Yeah.
like as high as 15. And the 10th seed in the SEC.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this.
How crazy is that?
I hope there aren't Gator fans out there going, well, Terry, Trent, it don't matter if they hosting games or not. Look what they did last year. They went to Stillwater and then they went to Clemson. Let me tell you, that is a one-off. The last thing you want to do is to fight your way to Omaha by going through a Stillwater regional and
No,
a
thank you.
Clemson super regional.
No,
that
thank
hey,
you.
that happens about as often as Haley's comment goes by. Get one regional at home is a big weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Then you go wherever and say, hey man, we're 2 games from Omaha.
Well, and now you bring up a great point because there are national seeding going on.
Yep.
So this is where you got to look at.
Yeah.
So the top 8 teams, if they take
they
care
all
of
win,
business in their regional, they all host supers.
Correct.
So if you take the 16, which is what they'll do, and then you figure it out from there.
Yep.
But I think playing at home, I think the whole, first of all, the fans. And by the way, a thing came out today. I should have texted it to you.
Right.
The attendance for SEC schools.
Wow, that'd be great.
Oh,
everybody's got a beautiful ballpark.
It was fantastic. So it's like, if you're LSU, do you want to play in front of 11,000 people?
Of your people
who are nuts.
Yeah.
Or do you want to go somewhere else? And now they're probably going to be a national seed regardless of what they do. But the point I'm making is it's fun to go to hotels and be on the road and stuff like that. But it's also just it's a distraction.
Yeah, it is.
And there's something to be said. Play at home.
Yeah.
Take care of business.
Yeah.
All your affairs are in order.
Yeah, you're just not going to make it out of and I'm not saying exactly Stillwater Clemson, but both of those are snake pits. You're just not going to make a lot of hay year after year going road Omaha. At least get the first regional in your ballpark. Makes it a lot easier.
Well, Mississippi State had to go to Virginia last year.
Hard.
And they had
hard.
Virginia had to win 2 games, and they did.
Hard,
so it's like,
just
the confinements of that home. You get the last at bat. There's there's a lot of things.
Getting back to how to coach this SEC tournament, and we'll stay with Florida because it's the team we're talking about the most. As you said, last weekend, all of your SEC teams and series, they all bump them back, which is smart. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, instead of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Give you an extra day. The tournament's coming up. You got to travel. So Florida plays Alabama in Gainesville, but they play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was pretty obvious that Florida was going to finish right around 10, so you knew you were going to play Tuesday. Florida took off on Sunday. I mean, you had no time. You got done Saturday. They got a night's sleep, washed everything up. Florida got on a plane and left on Sunday to then work out Monday on the field in Hoover, and you're playing Tuesday, So you'd prefer to have been off a few days.
You can't be. So you have to take one day off a week.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
So Sunday's going to be your day off.
Yeah.
You might as well get the travel out of the way.
Yeah.
Instead of traveling Monday and then getting a late workout in the afternoon or whatever.
And feeling rushed. And,
yes.
Yeah, just, you
get there, chill out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of get some semblance of a routine going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I read something today that just the headline was something to the effect of the SEC tournament is about to be like a just hot mess.
Yeah.
Well, think about how competitive it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you do as a coach, as a player, we're getting after it.
Yeah.
So your starting lineup is going to be your starting lineup.
Yeah.
The only question would be, who do you have on the bump?
Yeah.
So then you look at that, you go, or on the mound. So then you look at that and you say, you got Texas, you got
Arkansas,
LSU,
LSU,
who's always good, LSU,
defending national champion Tennessee,
who I love, but they're all gonna.
You love Vitello if you're playing for him. You don't like him if you play against. If you see any ESPN college baseball highlight with two teams fighting on the field, if I played for him, I would like him. I'm tired of the antics. Every push and shove, Tennessee's involved. If you turn on the ESPN or SEC Network and they go, "Hey, we had a little skirmish," it's Vanderbilt, Tennessee. It's Arkansas, Tennessee. It's always him. It's gotten old. I would play for him hard, but I don't necessarily like him from afar. The way his teams are, they've got his little pissy attitude. Tony Vitalis, we're talking about, yeah. But he won it all, so he can do it for a while.
I guess. I
We'll
mean,
put
how much
on.
can you tolerate there? Like,
Yeah.
you don't need your players rounding the bases,
Yeah.
flipping off crowds,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
other team, or whatever it is.
Trent, we got a couple, about 10 minutes or so. We're going to take it to the top of the hour. We may be visiting with our buddy Jim Martin, head coach over at Providence, talking about, it's summer camp time. The time is now to get signed up. Don't get closed out with your child, boy or girl. A lot of people always looking for camps, basketball, baseball, football, swimming, different type of camps. Coach Martin's been running the Jacksonville Basketball Academy summer camps for a long time, and we'll tell you all about them. We may have him at the top of the hour. A couple more Major League Baseball things I want to hit. Trent, we talked about the Braves. Strider goes tonight. That's big. Hopefully he can give what will he go, 3? On a good night, he'll go 3 or 4. If it's a great night, and you guys hadn't been on the Major League.
He's going to be on a pitch limit for sure.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Strider goes tonight for the Braves. The Braves have a tough schedule heating up pretty soon, so it's good they've won some games. Phillies have won 4 in a row. They're leading that division, by the way. The Mets are scuffling. How about the Dodgers? They're in their Dodgers. They've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
This is their second little blip, and obviously, Major League Baseball. There's many more than 25 great players, so they can't have them all. They've got a hell of a lineup. Dodgers are scuffling a little bit right now. They got swept over the weekend.
It's okay though. I mean,
agree.
it's early in the season,
I
and
agree.
you're going to have these moments of just head scratching. Wait a minute, like I don't know. As a fan, I watch baseball, and my team's the Yankees, and when they lose one game, I lose my mind.
Yeah,
it's like, but again, it's not football where one loss is going to hurt you.
This is the second.
And I still have trouble processing that.
Yeah, this is the second little blip that the All-Star Dodgers have had. They had a little blip early in the first couple of weeks, but they've lost 4 in a row. Cincinnati's won 5 in a row, but that's a little bit. They played Pittsburgh 3 of those, I think it was. So,
poor Pittsburgh.
But since he's won 5, Seattle, don't look now. They've been leading their division. They've won 4 in a row. 3 managers have been fired already. We're not even
Isn't
close.
that crazy?
How about that?
They've been All-Star.
Colorado, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh have fired their managers. And you know what? These teams are so bad. We may get into this a little bit later. But I know you got to do something, but who could have managed these teams? They have no talent. These
Baltimore does.
Remember
how good they were last
It's funny
year?
you said that. When you look at, and I took some notes, the 3 franchises that have fired their managers so far, Baltimore, they've got what a lot of people would steal, 3 really good hitters. There's shortstop Henderson.
Yep.
Gunnar Henderson. Rutschman, you remember him?
Catcher.
The catcher,
yeah.
Great player. So Henderson, Rutschman, and Jackson Holiday, huge recruit signee. They think he is really good hitters. They have no pitching. I mean, their pitching's terrible. You look at Colorado; they are setting records for futility. Colorado, how about this? Speaking of pitching, they're starting pitchers this year. And I mean, how do you fire a guy? What are you supposed to do with this talent? Colorado, the Rockies starting pitchers have an ERA of 7.19. 7.19.
Yeah, and part of the argument is it's Colorado and the ball flies and all that stuff.
7.19.
7. I could see it being in the 5s.
Another stat for Colorado pitching. This season, they have struck out only 14% of the batter's face. Everybody's hitting the ball. Those are big leaguers. If they hit it enough, it's going to go over the fence. They get
in a gap or something.
They're getting no swing and miss. And how about this? And I think we may have Patrick, but I want to get this out. Pittsburgh, and I've been tracking. I love Paul Skeens. I've been tracking Skeens. He's like 3-5 now. But get a load of this.
With an ERA at 2.
His last outing the other day, Skeens threw a complete game, 3-hitter. He walked 1 batter. He struck out 9, and they lose 1-0. So he's 3-5. His ERA is well under 3.
When is he gone?
Oh my!
When did they unload him for?
How about get a load of this? Pittsburgh, terrible offense. They've got some decent arms other than Skeens as well. Their offense, they are last in Major League Baseball runs scored. They average 3.1 runs a game. The Pirates, 3-point run. So that means when they score 8, that's it. That's factored in there. The Pirates have never, ever in their history had $1 million team payroll. Spend some money or get out or get rid. Schemes is becoming the modern Nolan Ryan. He's playing on bad teams and going to have average stats.
You know, we had an interesting debate one afternoon at our host place, Hurricanes.
Yeah.
About Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
And when you look his numbers up, his lifetime ERA is in the 2s.
Unbelievable.
And he's a 500 pitcher.
It's unbelievable.
Because he played on garbage teams. Yeah. I mean, it's,
let's see if Patrick Young is here. Hey, Pat, do I hear you stirring around back there? Thought I heard Pat. Maybe not. I wanted to get his thoughts. Gator Nation, if you haven't heard, Boogie Fland today has signed with the Florida Gators. I wanted to hear Pat. He might have jumped off until the top of the hour. Yeah, you hit it. No, now, a little bit of Nolan Ryan, you have to blame him. He played, 24 years or whatever, and he made a few playoff appearances, probably 4 or 5 or 6, but he also manipulated his signings. He wanted to stay in Texas. He played for the Rangers, and he played for the Astros a lot.
Right.
He played for the Angels as well, but he's a Texas guy.
He's a Texas guy.
If you want to play on a Texas franchise, and neither one of them are any good, and you still sign with them, that's kind of on you. But that's the knock on Ryan. He was such a great pitcher. But he played on bad teams.
And he played for the Angels, too. And the Angels weren't good back then.
They had a little run. One here, one there.
But
Astros, one here, one there.
It's on you, but it's also like
pitches is
how handcuffed are you?
Yeah.
By your organization who decides,
I'm
going to sign you. Well, trade me. We're not going to trade you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
Skeens will be
unload him for a freight load of prospects.
But then if you're a Pittsburgh fan, you go, then what are you going to do, owner? You've shown you don't spend any money. So if you unload Skeens, one of the only reasons I want to come to your ballpark, you'll get a decent player in return. You're not going to get Skeens. Are you going to back it up by going and getting some players? That's the problem. They've never had $100 million.
No. What they're going to do is get prospects. See Tampa, see Kansas City, see Minnesota. Even though you could argue that the Twins have won a fair amount of games. They've been in the playoffs or whatever.
Fair enough. And they've got some World Series.
So they're kind of the exception, I think. But
I mean, Skeens is looking at, and baseball people are baseball people. They're smart enough. And the All-Star game doesn't really matter. But Skeens is literally looking at being at the All-Star break, being 3-8, but with a 2.94 ERA, a bunch of strikeouts, and probably should be the
5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio,
and should be the starting pitcher for the National League in the All-Star. People go, he's 3. Well, have you seen? He's got no decisions or losses.
He probably will be the starting pitcher for the National League.
At one point, a couple weeks ago, I had tracked it because it's fun to do this year. Through 36 games, this was like 2 weeks ago, through 36 games, the Pirates had been shut out like 6 times already. And the next closest were the next closest were 4. They were 7, the Pirates. And the teams with 4 shutouts, the Rockies and the White Sox, the 2 worst teams. They had almost double the shutouts of those 2 franchises. Terrible.
The White Sox with their historical year last year.
And the Rockies said, hold my beer.
Oh.
The have you projected their numbers?
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
It's ungodly how bad they're going to be if they don't get going. I mean, they're going to lose. They're going to win 40 games.
So
if they're lucky.
So what do? You hire a manager. You give them, you know what they say, not only am I serving you a blank sandwich, I'm making you eat it.
Yes.
And it's like, well, hang on a second. My job's on the line, and you've given me
you've handcuffed
no tools.
Yes. I mean, last
year I'm walking around with a tool belt that has no tools in it.
I mean,
and it's like
last year the White Sox fired Grifol, the former FSU catcher, but you go, okay, you got to do something. I get you got to do something, but Leo DeRocher and John McGraw can't manage that team. The Rockies just fired Joe Torre.
Yeah.
The Rockies just fired Bud Black, but who could coach that mess of players?
No.
I mean, are you telling me somebody would have gone, no, let's pull him here, and we'd have won the game? No. The next guy you put in gives another home run up, right?
Yeah, and you're going to leave your guy in probably longer than you would need to.
Yeah, but you have to do something, you know?
I agree.
You have to do something. Let's we got Coach Martin, I do believe. We were talking about all the camps coming up. Coach Jim Martin from Providence joins us. Coach, how are you, my friend? Hey, man, we're doing well. We were talking about your camps coming up. We'll get to that. If you got a quick second, Coach, can we backtrack a little bit? I haven't talked to you, and we've got my buddy Trenton Torsia here as well. Coach, I haven't talked to you since Florida won the college basketball national championship. Coach, speak to what does the Gator basketball program in the state of Florida winning another title in basketball, what does that do ripple effect for state of Florida high school? It's got to be good for everybody that dribbles a ball in this state, right?
No, it's awesome. I mean, we need that in the state of Florida. We need to have that kind of excitement. We need Florida or Florida State or Miami to have that kind of success. But Florida to win a national championship, all of us in the basketball world can pound our chests.
Yeah.
Those guys are 80 miles from here. You know, if they can do it and have that kind of success, then all of us at that high school level have a chance to promote that sport as well. You know, and it was exciting. I don't know if they could have played any more exciting basketball.
Yeah.
Some of those games they probably lost, and they were able to figure out how to win. Even the last game against Houston, they're down the entire game, pull it off. Another minute or two to go, and they end up pulling it off to win. So it was exciting.
Coach, you've been in and around the game at every level for a long time. Staying with the Gators for a moment since we haven't visited. Have you got to know Coach Golden much? I know he's 3 years, West Coast guy, but came over 3 years. Or at least what do you hear about him in the grapevine?
Phenomenal coach. He's that young guy, West Coast offense, West Coast mindset that has taken a program to the highest level. And what I don't think most people know is how well he can X and O to win games. And he's big time. And it paid off. Big time analytics, which the young cats got that now. They got it all figured out on what they need to do to win games. But he's put all the great pieces together to have a phenomenal team. Even the kids coming off the bench were phenomenal in filling their role type thing. So I know Coach Golden. I don't know him as well as I do some of the other coaches because he's a West Coast guy.
Sure.
He did me a big favor. One of my former players, didn't play much. Great kid, was one of the student managers. There was 30 guys interviewing for a couple of positions.
Right.
And they really took a good look at him. He ended up being a student manager. So 1 year in as a student manager, you win a national title. Pretty good. Pretty good. Cool. He'll be rocking that. That's pretty good timing, right?
Hey, this is easy.
Yeah.
I only have 10 fingers. I hope I got enough fingers for some rings. I'm going to have a bunch of rings on, Coach.
Hey, Coach, it's Trent. So I have a question for you. Kind of stack rank our area for basketball talent versus the rest of the country.
I think now we're just okay. We're okay. Part of that reason is we don't have the great athletic football guys playing as much that are just phenomenal athletes that could do both sports, and sometimes their passion was a little bit more on the basketball side. We lose those guys early on to the 7-on-7 football, and
there you go.
They don't give themselves a chance. So we've got good players, but like when Patrick was playing, they're probably at that time 10 to 12 Division I guys playing all over the place. Wilson, North Side of town, Providence. And I would say we may only have one or two guys now that are legitimate Division I guys and good players, but don't have – there's good players, but the athleticism is missing for the high Division I guy. You got to pass that athletic test if you're going to play at Florida or Duke or State, and we don't have those kind of players. We don't have those kind of players in this area that we did back in 2010. Probably from 5 to 15, we had some unbelievable Division I guys, and seemed like everyone was at one or two of the schools. I mean, and now we just don't have it.
Yeah, interesting. Coach, the big news, big basketball news around here, sounds like it's official. It's been a signing that Florida has landed Boogie Fland, the 5-star out of Arkansas. And, I mean, this guy, he hurt his hand, ironically, against Florida last year, and he came back in the tournament. It's a 5-star swing guard kind of guy. I mean, that is huge news. Florida now is just waiting on Alex Condon. Man, they are going to bring back one hell of a nucleus, it looks like, in Gainesville.
That's such a great pickup. But it's crazy. I can't imagine what's going on in these rooms now.
I know.
Players and their agents, their college agent that are negotiating, $1 million deal, $2 million deals. Those guys are put under a little pressure that, hey, you signed today and it's $2 million. We're bringing in guys from Kansas, Baylor, wherever, but you have this afternoon to make that decision, right?
Yeah.
And $2 million for a college guy now. That stays. Keep playing. Don't go to the NBA. Don't get. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose.
Well, that's what they're saying about people is you're going to take a pay cut, stay another year.
Yes.
And there's a lot of examples of that now. And so that brings up an interesting question, Coach. So the whole high school NIL thing too. What are you seeing on that front? Anything? Or?
We're not seeing anything because the Florida High School Association cannot figure out really what the regulations are going to be at the high school. So when they figure it out a little bit, then it'll be the wild, wild west. But they don't have any guidance out there at all. And where like a college can lock down a guy at that particular school through their collective. Right now, it's worded that a kid can make money, let's say from an Adidas or Nike, but has no tie-in to what school he goes to. So no one's throwing out any money at the high school level that would be local money, not if that kid would stay at the school. So if some school came up with $10,000 for a high school kid, that kid could go play anywhere. He wouldn't be tied in. So he gets the money, and then else, and what was that just happened?
Yeah, that's not healthy at all.
Hey, Coach, so you're telling me a moment ago we were talking about the NIL at the college level. So it sounds like you could get a nowadays collect call from the Boston Celtics draft room. Nah, I'm okay. I don't want to take that call. I'm fine where I'm at. Right? I don't need the NBA. I'm gonna stay in college, make a lot of money, chase co-eds for a few more years.
I'm waiting until that 15-year-old kid, that ninth grader coming in. Coach, can you go over, when it starts hitting at the high school level, some 14-year-old kid played at some middle school, scored 15 points a game. Coach, what am I looking at financially? He hasn't even started shaving yet, and I got to give him a number.
Coach, let me tell you.
He's like, I've got my representative. Can you speak to him and kind of set the tone for what's going on?
Coach Martin, that's the minute you walk over to your principal and say, "Can I get those retirement papers? I'm going to start filling out those retirement papers. I'm done. I'm out." Hey, Coach, let's talk basketball camp. It's camp season. Summertime is here. You've owned and operated the Jacksonville Basketball Academy a long, long time. Talk about that prospective basketball player out there, what your academy, what your camps can do, how people get involved. Just give us an overview of what's going on, because it's time now to get signed up. Camp season is here.
Yes, we start next Tuesday, go all summer. And where we've really had the success has always been in player development. We don't roll out the balls. I mean, we're grinding away with every aspect of coaching the fundamentals, so that kid, even after a week, can feel good about himself that he learned a new skill. He was taught how to do his left hand, right hand, whatever it might be. But the fundamentals, we're missing that a little bit here in the United States versus Europe.
Sure.
United States, we just play games. You're the same player. Take the time to develop and train so that you are a skilled guy. That's where Europe is beating us to death. Wow. Because here, all we're doing, AAU playing every weekend, just play games. And we've got to slow down a little bit and start getting back to where you actually are developing your skills and working out. You just can't play 1,000 games during the season. You got to sit back, and whatever your weaknesses are, you really got to work on it. I still see kids at the high school level can't go left. They slam on the brakes. They got a guy beat. They do a rip move, go left, and they realize you're going to have to use their left hand. And they're slamming on the brake. They beat a guy. You beat him. Stop. Go use your left hand. So our camps.
Oh man.
The morning camps, traditional camps, afternoon. Every kid's going to get 300 or 400 shots. So the afternoon camps are all premier shooting camps. So now the value at every level is to be able to knock down a shot. You can't be out on any court now, high school, college, if you can't knock down that open shot or be a threat to knock down an open shot. We get a lot of kids just need their shot tweaked so you're a knockdown guy. You don't have to knock down every shot, but people in the gym got to believe you can knock down that shot. So we really are big into to being like the shot doctors. And we get to spend some time with them during the summer, try to get that right. And every kid feels good about their shot.
I also read,
I'm sure they do.
Coach, I also read about your camps. Obviously, it says shooting and passing and footwork, but it said in there, you hope to teach understanding of the game and teamwork, but understanding of the game as well, if they're of that age, right?
Correct. I would say the biggest thing we try to teach, and it's every kid at every level should understand the balance on the court. The balance, a kid's coming back to the ball, coming back. You need to know how to operate on the other side of where the ball's at, and you've got to be able to do something on the other side. What kids don't know is that most of the time at the high school level and the college, the play's happening on the other side on a reversal. It doesn't happen on the same ball side. The help defense, everything is set there, and you can watch it big time at the college level. It's the reversal. So you have to learn where you need to be spacing wise to be able to reverse it and then knock down that open three.
Visiting with Coach Martin, a longtime coach over at Providence. His basketball camp is as good as you're going to find in our area for a summer camp. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. We're going to talk about it all summer long. We're going to have Coach and some of his representatives on as we go. Coach, what's the best way to get in touch for people who want to go ahead and start squaring away, reserving their spot and picking a week or multiple weeks? What's the best way to get involved for somebody to get their spot in your academy?
Yeah, the best way is go to JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. And in there, we have the full gamut of camps. We have monthly training. We have nighttime stuff. We have it to fit anyone's schedule. So if a kid's involved in a program during the day, we have nighttime training. If somebody wants to play with a team, we've got that. If somebody's coming into town and they're going to spend a week with grandma or grandpa, we've got that where they can come for that week. So there's no excuse for any young basketball player to find a way to get in that into our gym better.
JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. We'll spend all summer, Patrick, when he's here. Certainly, we're all going to talk about it as we've been for a couple of weeks. Coach, real quick, a couple things before we let you go. One about the academy, and I hope we didn't lose Coach. We may have. I was going to ask him about, I'm not sure, and we can find this out. Coach, is the camp long enough where there'll be a meal involved, or will they be getting out after a couple? How does that work, like a lunch or anything? Oh, I think we lost Coach's audio. Did we lose your audio, Coach?
Oh, so can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, so we have a morning and an afternoon camp. Some kids stay all day and just bring a lunch. Just bring a lunch. So there's options on that. Some of the kids just stay. It's easier for transportation. So they'll do the morning and then the afternoon. Some will just come for the afternoon. Some will just come for the morning as well.
Last thing, we'll get out of here. And Trent, my buddy Trent here is an old left-handed pitcher. He pitched at Mississippi State. He had a teammate named Rafael Palmero, had a teammate named Will Clark. So he knows a little bit. He played with
one of my best friends, Dave McMahon.
How about that?
Dave Mack.
Yeah, Dave Mack. How about that?
So Pat Mack was our pitching coach.
Yes, yes.
For all 4 of my years.
He's a great person. He's a great coach, but even better person.
Yeah, no, he's good people. And Pat Mack is one of my favorite people in the world still.
Coach, I wanted to hit something. Last thing, we'll get you out of here. I know it's late in the afternoon. And I think Trent, being a pitcher, I want to go back to something you said. Playing in the offseason, in the summer, trying to get better, playing games. That's wonderful. But I think in all sports, you're going to lean toward what you do well. You shouldn't, in the offseason, you work on your deficiencies a little bit more than – because if you don't work on your left-handed dribble during the offseason, you're never going to get your left-handed dribble. You're just going to play games, right? I think I heard you, Trent. I think a baseball pitcher's like that. If you never work on your changeup, well, damn it, we're playing in the summer. The guy's going to hit it for him. Well, you got to practice it. You got to practice your deficiencies.
That's what we're missing. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're missing. Probably missing in every sport. It's a developmental time during the summer that we should be picking out every weakness we have and like, you know what? I got to get better in that weakness. We play so many games, the kids revert only to the strength.
They're good. The easy.
Throw your fastball every pitch. They can't hit it. Sooner or later, at some level, they can hit that fastball.
They're going to hit it, and you've never thrown your changeup or your break. Yeah.
Correct.
Coach, does that drive that must drive you crazy if you're watching a basketball game, high school level, junior high, not so much college, but maybe guy gets a breakaway, I don't know, steal, poke away steal or what have you, and he's streaking down and about to go lay it up, but he goes under to go to the right side. Because he has no left hand.
No, you see it. It's crazy. It's crazy. And again, you watch the Europeans, the international kids, they do it all. But they grew up in an environment that it was not necessarily winning the game. It was player development.
Yeah.
We just want to play and we want to win. We don't care that we just beat the Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah.
We won, we put up points, we scored, we did all those things. Instead of analyzing the game and saying, you know what? Yeah. I went left. I didn't even want to use my left hand because I wanted to score. You should have used your left hand. It didn't matter whether you scored. We're developing that, right? Same thing with being able to see the court. Some guys have that tunnel vision. They only see right in front. Man, you got to get that peripheral going and see the whole court. You should know what everyone's doing on the court if you're that true great point guard.
Wow. Coach, good stuff. We'll do it all
I have one more question.
Real quick, go ahead.
When are we going to see guys with their back to the hoop?
It's gone. Never.
Ever again.
Ever. Gone.
That breaks my heart. My heart.
Coach, you're supposed to, your first option is dump it down to your aircraft carrier and see if you can get a 2-footer, 3-footer, and then maybe not.
No, gone. Let me tell you what happens.
I sound old, probably.
If you don't, that 6'9" kid coming up the ranks, 6'9" freshman, sophomore, you put his back to the basket. That next year, he's playing for another school.
Yes,
Hey, I'm hardcore guy who's learned. Hey man, you're a guard. You want to be point guard? You want to be a guard? Hey, we run a 5-out system now. We don't even try it. I'm going to lose that kid because they already have looked at the next level.
Yes.
And the value is to be the 6'10" guy shooting threes. There's no value.
Isn't that crazy?
And obviously the finals, conference finals start tonight. It still amazes me as an old guy when I watch NBA compared to 20 years ago NBA.
Yes.
All 5 guys, all 10 guys on the court, but all 5 on each team. I don't care if they're 7'1", 7'3", 6'10". They all can shoot.
Yes.
And they all have to be guarded. So the court's wide open. They're 5 of them out high, and
exactly.
And they have handles.
And
that's the other thing.
they all can freaking shoot.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah. Hey, Coach, you tell that 6'9" kid, go put your back to the basket. He'll say, "But Coach, then I can't see the basket when I'm shooting a 27-footer if I got my back to it."
He tells you he's a guard. I'm a guard, Coach.
I'm a guard. All right, Coach Martin, go enjoy dinner.
All right, good seeing you too, Tim. Great talking. Have a good.
That's our buddy, Coach Jim Martin, one of, if not the most accomplished basketball coach in our area. He's literally coached the McDonald's All-Star Game
Yeah.
in Chicago. He's been on that staff. Grayson Allen, currently one of his players in the NBA, 45 college players over the years or so. Jacksonville Basketball Academy.com, JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. Everything starts May 27th. Every week they've got camp, so you haven't missed anything. Get signed up. Your basketball player in your life will greatly benefit. All right, we went very long. Let's come back, take a break, come back. A little more baseball. We'll track down some baseball, see if Florida is close to first pitch. And, wow, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
We'll come back.
What a character.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yep.
Been here a long time. Great for our community. Jim Martin
100%.
over at Providence. Back with more. The Young and Norvelle Show continues on Action Sports Jacks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
So there you go, looking over at the statue in Tallahassee. Not a lot to be rearing the horse about lately for the Noles.
Is that the Chief?
That is Osceola and Renegade, and that's back in the day when they were intimidating. Boy, not to just gut punch Florida State as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle show. Trenton Torsia, Terry Norvelle here. Thanks to Coach Martin. Boy, that was a lot of fun. We'll talk about his basketball camps. Jacksonville Basketball Academy all summer long. The camps get started on May 27th if there's a basketball player in your life. We've kicked this around, Patrick and I, and it's not piling on FSU, but to me, it is shocking. The last, I'm going to say maybe year and a half or so, how invisible the FSU athletic brand. I mean, when's the last time you see FSU, the logo, anybody talking? And I get it. They went 2-10. I'm not piling on.
Well,
and their basketball program just let Leonard Hamilton go, retired. Basketball has floundered. Those are your two sports. Have you ever stopped to just think the FSU brand is non-existent right now? I've never seen it like this.
And, well, it's football. I mean, you can say what you want about hoops.
Basketball,
They've always been.
I agree.
They've been good, right? They've been, Elite Eight or whatever. And,
but
Leonard Hamilton did a great job.
Yeah.
If you're not winning in football,
good point, man.
CUM, University of Miami, kind of that same thing.
Bit. Yeah.
Where
you don't hear and see the
their
UM
basketball
guys,
coach.
You don't see the UM and Canes, and you don't see that anywhere near like you did 15 years ago. No.
And I think it all starts with football.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big sport and the money maker. And when you start losing there, you start losing.
But you
don't lose the fandom, but
there are select schools around the country, though. I'll throw Florida and Georgia in there. I'll certainly throw Alabama in there. I get it that football has tanked for FSU, and that's the main reason nobody talks FSU football.
Yeah.
You don't see it on TV. People don't talk FSU. The brand is gone. There are some schools, though, and Lord knows I've lived I'm the biggest Gator fan in the world. The last 10 years, it's been hard to be a Gator fan. But when Florida is 4-8, it's not happy Gator Nation, but it's still Gator Nation out there. They're grumbling and griping and complaining and cursing and fire this guy. Alabama, when they don't go to the championship game, they're grumbling. Ohio State's FSU, they're not even. You want your program to grumble at least, because apathy is the worst thing. Oh, call me when we're good.
Well,
call me when we're good. When we're 12-1.
You don't think they're grumbling?
I don't see it like I do. The brand is just gone. I don't see the brand. Do you?
Well, look, you don't see it because it's not a thing right now. It's like,
but man,
it's not the sexy thing.
When I go to the water cooler or to the gas station, when Florida's 4-8, and my buddies, and again, maybe I'm just not in the conversation as much as I should to judge it, but my buddies, and rest his soul, my brother before he passed, the phone's blowing up. What the hell's going on getting footballs? It's still there. Now, it's an angry brand, but it's there. FSU, the brand has disappeared. I don't know. Anyway, we don't have to stick on that. The brand, I don't know.
You got to win, though, man.
I don't know.
I mean, you can't. And you know what? It's year to year, too. Season to season.
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess they rattle off 12 wins.
Winning,
they're back.
Yeah, and all of a sudden,
Renegades riding down San Jose Boulevard if they go 12.
That's exactly right.
What was that? Oh, that's Chief Osceola and Renegade. Yeah. He's going around the state. The brand is back.
He just threw the spear right in the middle of the road.
Exactly. Hey, honesty compels me. During the break, we had a discussion, Trenton Torsia and me. And you said, Terry, you want to talk some puck? And I said, what the hell did you say to me?
It sounds a little nasty.
He said, you want to talk some puck? And I said, what kind of show do you think this is? Do you want to talk? I'll turn it to you. Would you like to talk puck?
Talk some pucks?
Puck. P-U-C-K, as in hockey puck.
I have watched a ton of playoff.
Not. You're a Southern boy. What are you doing?
I've watched a ton of playoff hockey.
You're betting on it.
I might be. I've been known to make small wagers. And no, here's the cool thing about it.
If the electricity's not on at your house tonight, you should feel bad.
This is gonna I think, crack you up, or maybe you'll knock me down a peg or two. But if you look in-game wagering and you got the team ahead, and then you look and they go, say they're ahead 2 goals.
Okay.
The line's going to be -2.5.
Which means what?
Which means the losing team at the end of the game gets 2.5
Okay, I see.
goals.
And they're already down 2.
They're down 2.
So you get a half a goal to the good if you take that.
You don't.
Oh, you don't.
You're giving up a half a goal.
Oh, you're giving up. Okay. So you need your team to score 2 more?
One more.
One more.
Empty netters.
Okay, yeah.
So when they
so
the team
one more
winning
gets you up 3, which is more than 2.5.
Yep.
So you doubled your bet there, or
you do whatever you want to do.
you already had a bet though to cover.
Maybe.
Oh,
or maybe not.
Oh, you may just wait until the
You
game.
might wait until
So you
crunch time.
You're playing cherry picking gold.
It's kind of.
What a loser you are.
Well, I'm not an expert.
Or you're really smart. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not an expert in pucks, but Florida Panthers.
How's that been doing for you?
Pretty good, actually. Small wagers. I'm not.
Like only like you win like 50,000, 100,000,
No,
250,000.
no, not even $50.
$2.50.
Yeah.
I did a $5 baseball bet. I did a $5 baseball bet, Major League 4-leg parlay, and I hit it the other day. $5 got me 61.
That's nice. That's a nice
But let me
payout.
tell
though.
you, not that I feel guilty, but I did feel a little bit guilty. The 4th leg, I was going to bed. I was tired. I think it was. You'll help me because I'll tell you the game that won it for me. I had no business winning. I got the first 3. There's a 4 leg, so you got to get them all, obviously.
Right.
And I'm literally going up to my bed. I'm tired. It's like 10:30, and I go, let me see it. I'd already checked the 4th game, and before I tell you the team I needed, was losing basically 6-2 the whole game. I'm like, damn it. So I'm literally my nightstand. You know, you set your phone.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
plug your phone up. I got my water there. I'm going to bed. I go, let me check again. And damn, it's still 6-2. The Braves are beating the Red Sox. I thought the Red Sox would win that game, right? So all of a sudden I see a couple dots pop up, which are base runner. I'm tired. And all of a sudden, I mean, in the blink of an eye, I'm about to lose my bet. It's the final game, 14 parlay, 6-2. And God, or whatever you believe in, my phone kind of blinks. 7-6 home run for the Red Sox. Game over. Walk off.
Yeah.
And thank God I live alone. Woo! I may have been dancing naked in my bedroom. $61. I didn't know where to spend it all. I still don't know where to spend it all.
Okay. So I've
Remember
had.
the game the other night? They hit
I do.
They
Yeah.
had no business winning.
I don't like Boston, by the way, but
I just kind of thought they'd win that
you
first
needed
one.
them. No, that's the thing. You go to bed, you're pissed, right? Like you're upset.
Yeah.
Guess what, man? That was just a bad. I knew I should.
Devers, I think, hit a walk-off home run.
He's clutch.
And I was like, Hercules. Yeah.
I have had 2 hockey games and 2 basketball games at the same time. 4 screens.
Wow. Do me a favor.
Multi-view is
okay?
what it's
And then
called.
I'm trying to help you out. Do me a
Okay.
favor. I need you to repeat after me, okay? My name is Trent.
I don't have a problem.
And I have a serious gambling problem. Hi, Trent. Welcome. You know, the first step is admitting it. Trent.
It's a couple of bucks, Terry. Come on.
I said it a moment ago. Trent, if you go home after this show and your electricity's out, your poor wife's sitting in the dark, I hope you feel guilty. Trent, you didn't gamble away the electric money, did you?
Why do you have an interest in this game? Oh, I just do.
How long you been married? 150 years? How long?
Yeah, 32.
32 years. How many times your wife ever walked in on you watching hockey? Not much. She's like, what in the world? And you're gambling the mortgage on a
I'm
sport.
not gambling the mortgage.
Holy cow. Remember this now. Hi, everybody. My name is Trent, and I have a gambling problem.
I don't know.
Trent, Anything you want to talk about?
Florida Panthers trying to repeat.
Yeah.
So they were down 2-0.
Are they in the finals?
Well, the semis.
Conference finals.
They're playing Carolina.
What are they? The Hurricanes?
Yeah. So
Filthy
Carolina's
Hurricane.
good.
Okay.
But the Panthers, they're down 2-0. They go up 3-2. They can win at home.
Say
They
that again
lose.
now. They go. What now? The Panthers
They're down 2-0 to
game.
the Maple Leafs.
Okay.
They go up 3-2.
Okay, everything's good.
They got to win.
Go all in right
At
now.
home.
They're up 3-2. Go
They
all
got to
in.
go.
Push all in.
They lose at home.
Come on.
Then they got to go back to Toronto.
How much did you lose on that game? Ooh, he's hesitating.
Nothing.
You're lying. You know God and Santa are listening right now, right? God and Santa are always listening, and you just told a lie. So where are they at now? Are they out?
No, they won the series in Toronto.
Oh.
They now play Carolina.
So they did it hard way.
And then Dallas plays the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers, in the other side.
So who's left now? The Florida Panthers, the
Carolina Hurricanes.
Where's that series at? How many games do they play?
They haven't played yet.
Okay, so that's one semifinal.
Yes.
And then you've got, who are the other ones?
Dallas,
Dallas North Stars.
the Stars, and the Edmonton Oilers.
Are there favorites there, or are they all pretty matched even? You think who should win? Do you know? Or you just a degenerate better?
I think
Carolina's
kind of.
You just go on pretty uniforms, right?
Carolina's kind of the betting favorite.
Is this your betting stuff?
I think Dallas is
Here's
pretty.
your betting theory. I think
You said you were going to have fun with it. Now you're
Carolina.
just like crushing me.
Carolina.
Am I blushing?
When's the next game? Is the game tonight?
I don't know. I can look.
Hold on.
but-
Can we do this on air? Are we allowed to do this? By the way, what time? Oh man,
We got time.
Are you a Hard Rock guy?
I am.
Hard Rock bet?
Yes.
Can we do, Casey? Can we bet on the air? Is that I mean, right? Can we? Or at least talk about it? Yeah, you got one there. It's okay, right, Casey? Gambling's legal, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Everything's legal.
Panthers Hurricanes tonight.
Casey, you want to get in on some of this? Hold on, I'm waiting on my thing to.
So the Hurricanes are.
We got a game tonight.
They're 1.5 point
The game's
favorite.
in Carolina, right?
Yep.
And this is game one of the series, like best.
Yes.
Best of seven.
Best
right?
of 7.
All right, hold on.
So you take Florida. You don't.
Who are
I'm
you
not going to
gonna
tell you what to. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
And there's a spread though, right? There's a number of
It's 1.5.
Who gets that?
Panthers.
So the Panthers could lose by 1 and still win if you took them because they'd be a half.
Correct.
All right. Have you made a bet on yet?
No. I like the 1.5 though.
All right, hold on.
A lot.
All right. I've got
Casey, what do you think?
I've got $4.23 on my account. So
I got a little more than that. I'm not
Okay.
showing you.
I only keep a little bit. I'm not a degenerate gambler. I don't do gamble. By the way, when I won my 61 2 days ago,
You cashed it out.
like 2 days before I won $5, won me 16. So I had like $78. I sent 50 back to my bank account.
Did.
Isn't that good? Right?
I've yet to do that.
And I left 24 in, but I've lost. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I'm not doing anything.
I don't know much about hockey. Where's hockey at on here? Is it even a sport? Is hockey a
NHL.
sport?
Are you on the main page?
Yeah. All leagues right here. Boxing.
NHL. You passed it.
Did I pass? I've never seen it in my life. No, they don't let me do it. They know I don't know anything about it. Look, AFL, baseball, MLB.
Here's my view.
Well, NBA, WNBA, NCAA men, they're not even playing. Wow, they must know.
We
I
should
don't.
talk about WNBA.
Football, NFL, NCAA, and golf. Wow, they must know I know nothing about. Oh, here we go. It's way down here. Is that it?
Yep.
So hit NHL. How good a TV is this right here? Okay, is this your game? So there's only one tonight, 8 o'clock.
Yes.
All right. Florida is playing Carolina. It's in Carolina.
Yep.
And this is total goals, right? 5.5.
You could do that, or you could just do. You could do outright winner, or you can take the spread.
I'm gonna take. I think Carolina's gonna get them by more than 1 goal.
Okay.
and I think over 5.5 goals.
Oh, you're going to do that too?
Yeah, I only got $4. I'm not going to put any more. So I'm going to say, can you do pennies? Can you do 423, or do you have to just do 4?
Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't use it that much.
All right. So should I do some baseball too? Let's just be a wild man and do this. I want to do this. Okay. So I'm going to put $4. Can you put 23? I'm going to go all in. Yeah, you can. So this $4.23 bet is going to win me $23.27.
It's a nice payout.
Yeah. Yeah. Casey, what do you think of this bet? Good bet?
You do you, dog. Make some money.
That's what this guy asked me.
Casey, I guarantee you Casey's a Lightning fan.
I'm going to say done. Place the bet. Look at there. Big roller. Hold on. Placing bet. Hold on. It may say we got to verify that you actually have $4.23. I'm done, man. One bet. Okay, so who do I have? Carolina.
You got Carolina.
Go Hurricanes. There we go. This could be a weekly segment here.
It's kind of fun.
Until we're out in the street.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Until we're doing this one final time from the Sulzbacher Center.
When we lose power.
We're doing this from the YMCA, saying, listen, if I close the door tonight at 9, can I just stay in here?
Please.
I'll lock it up.
I'll sweep the floors.
Holy cow, where is this show going? What are we doing here? What baseball? Do we have anything on the Gators?
We have Knicks as a 4.5 point favorite tonight.
Oh, yeah, we could have done basketball.
Versus Pacers.
Basketball, Final Four, NBA. I'll take anybody but the Knicks. The other three, if any of the other three win it, I'm happy. Anybody but the Knicks.
Let me ask you this.
I don't like New York people. I don't like New York. I don't like New York people.
So
I don't like fans of the Yankees. Who are you a fan of?
Yankees.
Okay.
That's all right.
There you go.
I know where I stand.
That's fine.
So what about this? Knicks fans versus Laker fans.
Lakers. I don't
like hands down.
I don't like California. Neither. Well, neither. I don't like either one of them.
Well, you got to love Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
But so here's what came out.
Have you ever seen? There's a thing on the internet, and it's I guess it's pretty true. It says he's such an iconic, been around Hollywood for 65 years or whatever. Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
They've got a thing that says it's going to be a crude statement. It's not a dirty word. It's going to be crude. It says, here are the top 25 starlets that Jack Nicholson has. And, dude, there's some heavy hitters on there. I mean, Jack be
my
nimble.
Boy.
Hey, Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Dude, it is some heavy hitter.
Why am I laughing at that?
Whew, I don't know.
Why am I
So we told you JU won today in their conference
Good
baseball.
for them.
UNF lost. It's double elimination. So JU moves on in the winner's bracket. A-Sun. We told you that Georgia plays tomorrow. Florida is about the first pitch. We're going to look that up. The Miami Hurricanes got bombed today in baseball in the ACC by California, the worst team in the conference. FSU plays on Friday to a team yet to be determined. Florida and South Carolina just underway, top of the first inning. No score, obviously. Really nothing has happened, but they're playing, so it looks like the time is holding. Mississippi State tonight. Are your Bulldogs in? If they were to lose the first game, are they in?
I think so. I mean, there's all indications because they finished 15-15 in the conference.
That
So they went 8-1 down the stretch.
Yeah, that should get you in.
Post Lamonis, by the way.
The coach got fired. Yeah. New guy, interim guy. They won't hire that guy though, right? They'll do a national search. You got to be careful on the emotional hire.
I think you keep him because he's more of a pitching guy than a head coach. So, the other interesting is Jake Gautreau, who's the hitting guy. He came in with Canizero back.
Yeah, a good hitting coach.
He's a great hitting coach. And what's happening, the big thing with Mississippi State, I'll just kind of seal it, but they're having fun. The players are loose.
Yeah.
They're laughing on the field or smiling.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case.
No.
And I think what ends up happening is, think about this. You played long enough. There's a lot of pressure because you're not winning.
Yep.
High-profile program. You get tight. Don't you feel that as a player if your coach is kind of wound
and it's
up?
no fun. You're losing. No fun at all. You get tired of.
And then the rules start changing.
Yeah, you get tired of. Hey, Joe, how'd y'all do? Oh well.
Again?
We lost. We lost. There's a guy. I don't know if he wants to be a head coach because everybody doesn't. I think he's now the pitching. Max. I think Wiener, maybe his last name. I think he's the pitching coach for Schlossnagel, and he followed him to Texas.
His name is surfaced.
He's a young, fun pitching coach.
Yeah.
A guy like that. Look what Georgia did. Georgia hit a home run grabbing Wes Johnson, the pitching coach, I think, from LSU. And he's done nice things at Georgia.
He's rumored.
Yeah.
As well. So
State could pull a guy from Georgia for baseball because State's baseball program is way more advanced than Georgia's baseball.
Yeah.
Some people say, well, wait a minute, Mississippi State can't get a coach from Georgia. Well, in baseball they could.
Sure they could.
The facilities are not even close.
No.
The commitment, the Mississippi State wants to be good in baseball. You know what I mean by
that is their sport.
That they
you
really,
can say what you want about football and hoops and all that, but baseball is their sport.
Yep.
And I don't know. Some people are saying back up the Brinks truck to Vitello, and I'm like, you're not getting him. But the thing is, we talked about it earlier, right? The attendance in the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, Mississippi State is outdrawing Tennessee, and even Florida, by double. And it's Starkville, Mississippi, and the only team that's getting more fans per game is LSU.
LSU. Have you ever thought this hit me? I've known this, but it hit me, and I want to explain it for people that may not. There's a weird dynamic in baseball, college to the pro level, MLB, obviously, from college to MLB. Think about the dynamic. Baseball is such a unique sport, particularly from the manager's point of view. You don't lose let's say Tony Vitello wins 2 more national titles in a row, and he's the dominant college baseball coach. The Brewers, the Pirates, the Royals, they don't go, we got an opening, let's go hire Tony Vitello, and he goes right there. You don't lose coaches to major league job. Major league coaches become the managers. They've coached in the minors, and they work their way up. Isn't it weird that college baseball, Kevin O'Sullivan is not going to get hired from the University of Florida? The Gators got to fight off the New York Mets because they say because he would not have had any professional coaching, and it just doesn't happen, does it? You just don't get.
No, because what you'd have
to go learn how to be a professional coach.
Is work your way through the minor league system.
But
and they're not going to do it. But you're not going to make any money.
In college, there is no money. You just go.
That's
in
it.
Football.
Yeah.
In basketball. Isn't that weird that college
No,
baseball,
that's a great point.
You don't lose your guy straight to the professional league.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight off the pro league in baseball. If Kevin O'Sullivan really, really, really wanted to see if he could be a major league head coach, he could probably weasel his way into a double-A job immediately, but he'd have to win and learn. Kevin O'Sullivan, I don't think could have, as successful as he's been at Florida, he's put a billion guys in the bigs. Kevin O'Sullivan's not going to get the call from the owner of the Pirates and say, hey, we just fired our guy.
Yeah.
We're going to move you from the SEC to MLB. It just doesn't happen in baseball.
Yeah.
You got to cut your chops like a player, And
that's why you don't see it. I mean, to your point.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure. What burns college coaches out in every sport is the recruiting aspect.
Probably. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Now you got the NIL.
Yeah.
And there's so much the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So you're constantly having to recruit existing players. That's probably why Saban got out of the game.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this anymore. But the professional player, regardless of, okay, these college guys are getting paid now, but the professional player is making
Yeah.
Ridiculous money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how coachable are they?
Absolutely. You realize that, boy, college baseball, and I think a lot of it has to do with the networks. I know, the SEC network, the new networks. There's so much college baseball on the last 15 years. Man, college baseball has just meteorically risen. Have you seen the top coaches? They're making $2 billion.
I know.
The Sullivans, Kevin O'Sullivans of the world, Schlossnagel and those guys, Tony Vitello, I think just signed $2 million. That was unheard of 15, 20 years ago.
100%. They weren't even making 100,000 15, 20
They
years
are
ago.
making, the top level is making $2 million.
Yep.
Baseball.
Oh, the assistants are making
Yeah.
$500,000 a year.
And they finally got the assistants, multiple assistants now, right?
Right. They just passed that. And
is it baseball? I think I saw baseball has a class action lawsuit going on, might be against the NCAA. A bunch of the assistant coaches, volunteer assistants, are suing from like the years 08 through 19 or something because they couldn't get paid. Even if they wanted to get paid, it was not allowed. And
no, they were.
They've got a big class action. They may get a little bit of money if you were an assistant volunteer.
They were volunteer.
And most of the schools would have paid them something, but they couldn't. And now that's
the way they paid them is go run our camps in the summer.
Yeah.
And they got paid that way. And oh, by the way, you can live in the dorm. Well, who the heck?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
You're kind of a grown man, right?
Yeah.
And you want to live in the dorm?
Switching subjects, 5 minutes left here. We'll get out of here. It's been a fun Tuesday. I want to thank all of our good friends who host us here at Hurricane Joins the Creek. Fun place family. Bring a group in. A lot of baseball, obviously all summer, but a lot of college and baseball and softball. Speaking of college softball, Florida, Georgia.
Hey.
Don't look now. The Gators host the Bulldogs in a super regional in softball starting. That one's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. FSU hosts Texas Tech Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This time of year, college softball is so much fun.
Isn't it fun?
Oh, it's fun. If you can give it a few minutes and sit in front of a TV, pick out a game and watch, I think you'll like college softball. It is a lot of fun.
And then you got Oklahoma, Alabama.
Yeah, 3 SECs are facing each other, I think. Out of the 9 that are in there, 3 of them are SEC versus. Well, maybe think about baseball. Baseball.
No, softball.
Softball.
Don't they do that in the supers?
Yeah,
because they don't want
7 of 8.
There goes Trent Terry again, SEC homers.
I think softball, there are at least 3 super regionals where 3 are going to get knocked out, but 3 are going to make it.
Yeah.
To Oklahoma City. Those 2 locations have carved themselves out. Obviously, Omaha much longer because they've been going to Johnny Rosenblatt, now TD, whatever. But Omaha is college baseball. Oklahoma, college softball World Series has only been around since like 79.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma City has now that is college softball World Series, Oklahoma City, college baseball World Series, Omaha. Perfect. Right in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
Right. They've really carved out a wonderful niche, both of them.
Yeah, they did. And if you remember, it wasn't that long ago where the NCAA said to the city of Omaha, you got to upgrade your facility or we're moving.
Yep.
We'll take it somewhere
and
else.
Let me tell you, South Carolina leads Florida 1-0, bottom of 1. So they got 1, South Carolina in the top. And don't you think a billion places would bid for that?
Yeah.
You talk about that's a 12, 14 day. I mean, you're bringing in 8 fan bases that are going to stay a while. It's double elimination at the beginning, right? So you're getting, it's not like even bringing 8 fan bases for basketball here and half of them are gone in one day.
Right.
Hey,
No.
you're getting, you talk about an economic impact. You're getting 8 schools that are at least going to play 2 games.
No, because we were there. And
yeah.
If you win, you get like 2 days off or something before you play again.
Yes.
So now all of a sudden it's like,
now, you and I we're in concert on this because we've done a lot of radio and TV together for a long time. This is the time of year, and I'll do it for softball and baseball. I do think postseason, I'll use baseball, for example, college baseball, it's too long. It drags on. And I also think out in Omaha, the way they've got, it's too long.
Yeah.
It's several days too long. And I'll say that if my team wins it, or my team doesn't make it, or if my team gets knocked out in two, it drags on. I think you agree as well.
No, I do agree. And then the guys that go play summer ball have missed 2 weeks of summer ball.
Yeah.
The good news is they played a long time in the postseason or whatever.
Yeah.
The bad news is,
you
go join a team 2 weeks into the season, and it's like,
and a lot of your draft choices that are playing in Omaha deep. Well, they get drafted. The last thing their pro team wants to say, hey, you got to report to. You got to give them a couple weeks off. I mean, they've just grinded their ass off.
Yeah, and the pitchers generally don't pitch that first year.
Yeah, a lot of them hold them because they.
But think about this too.
Baseball.
You're sitting in the dugout. I know we're up against it. You're sitting in the dugout, and you got your phone.
Yeah,
because you're waiting for the call.
Yeah.
Hey,
because of the
it's
draft.
the Cardinals.
And remember, they used. We're about out of here. ESPN or whoever was broadcasting used to make that a thing. They would focus in. They knew that the round one started 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And they would start looking at Anthony Rutschman, or they'd
Remember
look
that?
at Dylan Cruz or Paul Skeens, and he's going to the back.
Yeah.
A little GA would go, and he must have got a call. He must have got the call. Hey, good stuff, man. I enjoyed it as always. We'll do it all summer long, talking a lot of baseball and other stuff with my buddy Trenton Torsia. We appreciate it. Thanks to Coach Martin. Remember, Jacksonville Basketball Academy camps all summer long. Secure your spot. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jacks. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream same channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.